Jack works as an animal control officer, mainly responsible for capturing stray animals on the streets. On February 3rd, his birthday, Jack received an assignment to catch a dog. Unfortunately, he was bitten on the arm by the stray dog. Seeing the dog escape, Jack quickly grabbed his tranquilizer gun and gave chase. Soon, Jack arrived at a secluded cemetery where he saw the stray dog run behind a tombstone and mysteriously disappear. Before he could process what happened, he noticed a nearby tombstone with the name Laura engraved on it, which gave Jack an oddly familiar feeling. Later that evening, Jack's wife was at a bookstore selecting a gift for him. By the time Jack changed his clothes and arrived at the store, Lisa had already chosen a novel called The Number 23 for him. Jack wasn't sure why Lisa had picked this particular book, so out of curiosity, he opened to the first page. To his surprise, the book was filled with warnings from the author, who promised readers an extraordinary experience after finishing it. The author also cautioned that if anyone's experiences resembled the scenarios mentioned in the book, they must immediately destroy it and forget everything inside. Otherwise, terrifying consequences would follow. Ironically, this warning only made Jack more curious about the book's contents, so as soon as he got home, he began reading. Then something strange happened. Jack discovered that the protagonist's life was remarkably similar to his own. The main character, Fingerling, was born in a remote town, had a timid personality, and no friends. Fingerling's father was an accountant who taught him mathematics from a young age, hoping his son would follow in his footsteps. However, Fingerling secretly wanted to become a detective. Jack frowned upon reading this because becoming a detective had also been his childhood dream. The book went on to describe how Fingerling, pretending to be a detective on his 8th birthday, sneaked into a neighbor's house only to discover a woman brutally murdered. Jack, too, had lost his mother on his 8th birthday, and both he and Fingerling were born on February 3rd. Jack told his wife that the book seemed to be about him, but Lisa dismissed it as coincidence, suggesting that many readers like to imagine themselves as the protagonist. Seeing that his wife didn't believe him, Jack returned to their bedroom and continued reading. He discovered that the protagonist had grown up and fulfilled his dream of becoming a detective. One day, he was assigned to save a woman attempting suicide. The woman claimed everything was a curse. Her father had been troubled by the number 23, eventually developing schizophrenia and taking his own life. Now the curse had passed to her, and she frequently noticed the number 23 in her daily life. Although Fingerling tried to console her, assuring her there must be a solution, the woman ultimately succumbed to her torment and committed suicide. After reading this, Jack became even more terrified as he realized he too often noticed the number 23 around him. Frightened, he rushed to the bookstore owner to inquire about the author and contact information, but the owner replied that due to the passage of time, no information was available. Left with no choice, Jack returned home only to discover more clues related to 23. He told his wife that the letters in his name added up to 23, and even their house number and wedding anniversary were connected to 23, but his wife still refused to believe him, thinking Jack was talking nonsense. That night, as Jack lay in bed resting, he saw a shadow pass across the ceiling. This fascinating movie is called The Number 23. Interested viewers can search for it online.